All right, so the call today is going to be focused on trading psychology, and specifically, what I want to focus on is destroying the average traps. There's a lot of traps when it comes to trading psychology that a lot of us fall into, not necessarily on purpose, but because in everyday life, we're kind of programmed to trust our gut, trust our instincts, trust our emotions. In the trading space, it's the exact opposite. You have to have that discipline, you have to have the logic to lead with. Right. So, with that being said, everything that I show you, every note that you take, we're going to have a portion for questions towards the end. But I really want to make sure that everyone really takes in what I say. A lot of the things you probably kind of heard already, but I just really want to emphasize somebody that has about 6 years of experience trading is showing you that these things are the most important things to focus on. And I really want everyone to take heed to that. Really be like, okay, if these are the most important things, let me focus on these things. All right. So the first thing that I feel like we've all experienced when it comes to trading is these are some of like just some of the things, right? So fear. I think everyone's experienced fear, whether it's getting into a trade, getting out of a trade in the negative. Everyone's experienced fear, right? Fear of missing out. Everyone's experienced that. The discipline, like whether it's discipline to not take a position, whether it's discipline to take a position that goes with your plan. Like these are all kind of avenues that I feel like we've all touched on within our like kind of journey with trading. Greed, taking too many positions. Not necessarily closing out your positions and letting them ride out when they had no business riding out. Things like that is what I consider greed. And patience, were you too confident in a trade that you probably should have gotten out of? Were you overconfident with the amount of, not necessarily overconfident, but were you too patient in the markets? Were you waiting for a position that happened in front of your face and you didn't catch it? Right? So all of these things are emotions. All of these things are things that we make decisions based off of, but are not necessarily the right things to make decisions off of. I feel like emotions are a consequence. They're not necessarily an action. So, right there, if we're focused on consequences rather than the actions that we're actually putting into the market to make money, we're at a loss. We're already behind, right? So, the first trap is the dopamine trap. Okay. This is where we talk about addiction over action. So what this looks like is over trading. If you're trading from morning, noon, and night, there's no need for you to be doing that. There's absolutely no need. Everyone has either a session, an educator, or a strategy that they like to implement or like to focus on or feel comfortable with, and that's fine. But that also means that you have kind of set times that you can almost focus on that specific currency or that specific strategy where you're bound to have the most success or the most volume or where it makes the most sense, right? Like you don't want to be that person that's on the charts all day. And I can tell you from experience because I did this when I first started trading, I traded all day. When I tell you all day, I had phone in my hand and I was literally managing the floor trading all day. Any trade that came in, I took it. Any educator that was live that was calling trades, I took it. I promise you, I made more money following one strategy than following everybody. What ends up happening is you end up losing you. You end up losing your ability to actually be profitable because not only does your probability get lost within everyone calling trades, but you don't even know if you're going or coming. You don't know what to focus on. You don't know what's good, what's bad, what your errors are because everything is all over the place. There's too much information. It's hard to really get a concise look at, okay, what can I change? What can I do better? Because there's way too much information coming in. Okay, so when we talk about overtrading, you want to make sure that this is something that it's okay to think it, it's okay to feel it, but understand there's ways around it. One of the ways around overtrading is having multiple accounts. If you have multiple accounts and you have a target, you have a goal, like we've discussed trading plans, we've discussed trading journals and logging in your trades, having multiple accounts, if let's say on one account I have a goal of maybe $2,000 for the day. If I hit that goal and it's like, okay, I still see another setup, I still see some things that, are interesting to me, some price points that are interesting to me, maybe I do it on another live account, maybe I do it on a prop firm account, maybe I do it on a futures account to still take advantage of those positions, but I'm not over trading my account. I'm not over leveraging. I'm not going against my trading plan. I'm not making sure that I'm kind of going against my own rules, right? So that's like pretty much a way to get around over trading. Revenge trading. I think we've all been there too, right? Like this is not just one-sided, guys. Like I've done this as well. Revenge trading is something that's so blink of an eye. It's something that by the time you're doing it, it's like I think I revenge traded today, like just a little bit, But it's definitely a thought process once again. So one thing that I've done to get around this is actually put my trading plan kind of in big font right beside me. So it's not like it's here, like kind of down on my desk, and I can like kind of cover it or ignore it or do my own thing. It's right beside me, looking at me like in my face, like, hi, hello. Like, are you supposed to be doing that? Like, are those the rules that we put together? It's not. So why are you doing that? So I think that's one thing that setting, and the thing about it is like trading plans used to be so simple. They used to have like maybe three or four or five pieces of information on it. Now it's like we're so detailed that if you go against it, it's like, wow, like I really went against my trading plan. So I think it's just having that discipline of saying, you know what, we lost today, no problem. We're either going to come back to the markets tomorrow when we actually see a setup that works for us, or we're going to go back to demo account to make sure that the strategy we're using is actually something that's tangible, because maybe one week it worked and the next week it didn't work. That's not enough. 2 weeks is not enough to make sure that a strategy works. Okay. When we talk about implementing trades, the platform has a proven record. The trades coming from the platform have a proven record. All of those educators have a proven record. Okay. You taking your own trades or you kind of winging it, there's no backing. There's no evidence. There's no data. There's no nothing to say that your trades validate your action in taking trades on your account from your own personal view of the markets. I'm not saying you can't practice, but there's a place to practice. You want to practice on your demo account. So if we're already setting ourselves up for success where we're taking trades from reliable sources, like whether it's a live session with Dre, a live session with Dr. Alexis, a live session with Jordan, whether it's on the actual platform itself with the live sessions or those trade alerts, right? Or the scanner, guys, the magic scanner. If you're not on that, get on that. If you're not on that scanner, get on that scanner. If you've never been on a live session with us, everyone's going to be utilizing the scanner and actually showing you how they view the markets. Get on that. For the first 3 months, everyone who I've spoken to and done Zooms with for the last, like, I want to say 3 days, the focus from now to the beginning of March is to get funded. Use other people's money to generate income for yourself. Okay, so that looks like prop firms, that looks like futures accounts. A lot of us, I want to say a good 90% of us, are focused on futures. You want to make sure you do your research. We're utilizing Top Step, Take Profit, Apex. We're utilizing a bunch of platforms and we're educating ourselves more and more and more, and we're becoming more and more profitable. And the last thing you want to do is be the last link on the train. We give you the full blueprint. There's a lot of places that will not do that for you. They will not tell you what they're doing. They'll tell you how so that you stay reliant on us. I don't want that. Here, we don't have followers. At the winner circle, there's no followers here. There's no bosses, there's no nothing. We're all on the same playing field and we're all leading one another to get to the next level. Okay? So overtrading is a no, revenge trading is a no. And I'm not only showing you the no's, I'm showing you ways or some things that you can try to get around these things. Okay? The next one is boredom. I've suffered from that where it's like, you know what? I don't have nothing to do right now. Let's go in the markets, let's find a setup, let's make some money. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Right? But it's like if you were, imagine you were just done with your day. Again, I'm gonna use 2000 because 2000 is my daily goal on one of my accounts. Okay. Your goal is 2000. You made your 2000, but now it's like, oh, you know what? I'm bored. I'm gonna hop back in the markets. I'm gonna see what's going on in the markets. You lose 3000 just because you were bored, just because you wanted to get back into the markets, just because you felt like you saw something or you wanted to, try something out or whatever the case is. But it's like, was it worth it? Not only did you give up or give back to the markets what you made, what your intended goal was, you actually are at a loss. You are actually at a loss more than what you put in. You get what I'm saying? So it has to make sense. When we talk about being bored, the only way I can validate this is work on your, like, let's say your personal development, work on other things. I think a lot of us like to be or like to um do maybe like have hobbies outside or like businesses outside of trading. If that's not your focus when it comes to trading and you've hit your target, this is where I say if you're gonna exercise that type of energy where it's like, yo, I'm super interested in trading, I'm like, super excited, I really want to trade, get yourself multiple accounts. That way, if you hit your goal on one, perfect, that one's done for the day. Let me switch to this one. My goal on this one is 150. My goal on the next one is 300. That way, it's like, okay, I'm organized. I have a plan for each account. It's strategic. It's not random. It's not emotion based. It's not because you have nothing better to do. All right? Drop some ones in the chat if everything makes sense so far. And the real key factor that I want you to take away from the dopamine trap is your brain doesn't even want money. That's not even what your brain is looking for. Your brain wants stimulation. Like your brain wants action. So it could mean anything. Like literally it could mean anything. So don't mistake that feeling. Don't like mistake that emotion for, oh my God, I have to go make money. It's not the feeling of money. It's a craving that you're having. Okay? And it's not the same. Like, and I think for me, what kind of like makes it so much more clear is the wording here. Addiction versus action. I don't want to be addicted to anything. You get what I mean? I want to take action. Like I actually want to be that person that's strategic, that's methodical. Like I see something I want, I exercise the action, I get it. It's not like, oh my God, I'm so excited, I become addicted to this. And it's great to be addicted to something, but like there's healthy addicted and there's not so healthy addicted. I just told myself I just made 1% on each of my accounts, lock out until tomorrow. Exactly. Like there's so many different things that you can exercise, and I don't want to tell you guys how to get around these specific things, but I want to give you examples that I've used that have actually like have worked for me. You know, I can only ever speak from experience. The next thing is skill won't be enough if your emotions are in charge. So trading in itself is such a powerful skill, right? But you have to understand something. If you're educating yourself, if you're practicing, you're back testing, you're doing all the work on the back end, and then you kind of fumble the bag by getting your emotions involved and doing whatever you feel, one doesn't equate the other and one will not guide you to the other. So if you're working on the skill, you're working on making this something that you want to implement into your life, you have to kind of understand that controlling your emotions is hand in hand with that. For myself, when I first started trading, I was a very like aggressive person. Like very aggressive. Like I'm here, you're listening to me, whatever I have to say is what it is. Like I don't care about any type of side conversations. I wasn't even trying to help nobody, to be honest. You could ask Andre. Andre would tell you. Like I wanted to come in, make my money and leave. I didn't care to do no trainings. I was very like 50 Cent oriented. Like that was me, okay? But it's like with time and through trading, I didn't only learn to trade. I didn't only learn the skill set of trading. Through trading, I learned about personal development. I learned how important it is to be in control. Not saying you can't sometimes lose. We're human beings, right? We're not animals, we're not robots. We're human beings. So obviously sometimes you're going to lose it. Sometimes you're going to let your emotions take kind of the control, take the lead, take you down a path. But it's like one thing that Dre's taught me is you have to get into the habit of having bad moments. You have to get into the moment of realizing how you feel, but coming out of that with logic. Like, okay, this is how I feel, but if I act on it, what is that really going to bring me? What's the move here? What's the solution here? Everybody write solution for me in the chat. What's the solution here? How could I grow from this? Okay, cool. I lost an account yesterday. How can I grow from this? What's the next thing that I can do? And you're constantly in solution mode. You ever see two people arguing? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This one's calling this one off of this one. This one's judging the person off of their appearance and talking back and forth. But once someone says, you know what, I was wrong, I apologize, you know, how can we move on from here? What's the solution? You hear silence. You know why? It was never about the solution. It was never about getting past it. It was about staying in it. It was about staying in it. Who could say the bigger bad is this? I remember when I was in high school, I was the class clown. But the weird thing was, I was a class clown that got good grades. So it's like, it's kind of weird that you keep the class clown with good grades in the hallway, but that was my classroom. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. So, for example, if I'm someone that, you know, I'm always trying to like make sure I have that audience, make sure I always have the one up. I hear these things like these little comments in my head and I feel like I have to fly them off, especially if I have an audience. That was my thing. If I had an audience, oh, it was like Saturday Night Live. I was just letting them fly, you know? But it's like, again, that's emotion based. If I had taken a second to say, you know what, let me just assess real quick and then move with action, the outcome would probably be different. There's a time and place for everything, and I would have realized that had I taken the 2 seconds. You got what I'm saying? So even in now, we're all adults, we're all of age, we're all at a point where we can make those decisions and make sure that our actions don't get trumped or our intentions don't get trumped by our emotions. Vice versa for the people around you. Don't let people's emotions kind of impede their actions and then those actions hinder you. Put yourself in an environment of success. Put yourself around people that not only have their emotions under control, but their intentions are so clear. You know this person has good intentions for you. You know this person speaks highly of you. You know this person thinks the world of you. You're not around someone that you're like, if I get her upset tomorrow, I don't know what she's gonna say about me. Like, like you don't want to be around that. So every time I really talk about trading, it always leads me into a life skill or something I've learned in life because this is where it started for me. Like 2019 is really the point where it's like I got out of my ego, I got out of my pride, and I really started to say like, okay, how am I going to get to the next level? Everywhere I was the ceiling. Every single room I was in, every friend I was around, I always had the most money, I always had the nicest car, I always had everything. But it's like I didn't learn nothing. I didn't learn anything. I couldn't double my money, nothing. I couldn't turn to anybody that I knew to really get to the next level because they didn't know. They didn't know anything. So it's like I had to then come out of myself, to come out of my pride and be like, you know what? Who can I ask? Who can I go to? What can I be a part of? And that's when you start to really kind of open your mindset, open your opportunities. Everybody can have an excuse as to why not to do something, why you can do something, why you should be doing something. As humans, we have this tendency to validate our choices. If I decide today I'm not going to the gym, I could give you like 5 reasons off for it. Why I'm not going to the gym today. But it's like the thing that you have to understand is if today you decide that, your brain is 80% inclined to do tomorrow exactly what you did today. So if you did absolutely nothing today, you gave yourself excuses as to why or why not you should do something, understand that tomorrow you're going to have to fight yourself that much harder to make sure you get up and go do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes of a workout, of a stretch, of anything, just because of the choices you made today. Okay, so it's more. I promise you, it's deeper than just trading, and it's changed me as a person. So when we talk about emotions and logic and using this skill set to get yourself forward, you want to take it serious. You want to attribute the amount of time that you need to it. If you have questions, if you have things that you want to work on, you want to reach out to the right individuals. And like I said, here, there's no followers, there's no bosses, nobody's ahead of everyone. We just have a collective amount of people with the same mindset, literally targeting the same path. We might all have different end games. That's fine. That's what makes us that diverse, and that's what makes us so impactful, right? But we're all headed down the exact same path, which makes it that much better. Okay. The next one is called self-sabotage. So these are some of the things you can ask yourself. Why did I move my stop loss? So we're not talking about moving your stop loss in profit. We're talking about when your trade is going, you're like, my trade needs like another 10 points, another 20 points, and I just need another, I need breathing room. You're already at a 50-point stop loss. I don't know about how much more breathing room you need, but if you're at a 50-point stop loss and you still need breathing room, you need to get out that trade. Simply put, you need to get out of that trade. That's not a setup for you. That's not one that you're just gonna try to hold and, turn into some, like that's when you start to invent what the market is showing you. We're not inventors here. The wheel has already been made. We're just literally taking what's been made and we're applying it. Okay. So when we talk about why move your stop loss, unless it's in profit or unless it's to protect what you've made, there's no reason for your stop loss to be moved backwards. Like you went from a 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, like we've discussed, like, you're risking $50 to make 150 to now your stop loss is like $100 or $75. Why? If the setup wasn't for us, it wasn't for us, straight up. If the setup wasn't supposed to go past a certain area, we had no business being in a trade in the first place. That's why it's so important to back test. It's so important to practice strategy. It's so important to understand viable areas to move your stop loss because on average, if you're in an area where your stop loss is getting tapped like that and you feel like, "Oh my God, if I just had 10 more, if I just had 5 more," no. You're validating your decision. The market didn't give you that. The market showed you. Market literally would have tapped your stop loss and showed you this is not a viable area for me. And you would have known, you know what, next time I'm not going to fall for that. Instead of, oh my God, let me just adjust. Let me edit and add 10 points. Let me add 15 points. Okay, if I just had like 2 more points, we can all do that with everything that we've done in life. We can all do the shoulda, coulda, woulda game, but how far is that game going to get you? And how much money do you have to lose until you stop playing that game? Right? The next one, why do I close my trades early? More times that's out of fear. It's out of fear of like, oh my God, look how much money is on the table. My target is this. I don't know. Like, there's making a logical decision and an educated decision on when to close out your trades early. Like, you might be busy, not be able to pay attention to it. You may have been able to already accomplish your daily goal, but because it could have, what I mean, you could have made extra money, you could have had more money on the table, you might have closed it out early. For me, it's a personal choice. You decide. Like I've had trades that are runners and I was doing so many things at the same time. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna close this out because I'm about to be busy. I'm not checking on anything. Like, and at that time, it's like I was already at my third trade for the day, and I was like, I already passed my goal. I have no intentions of being greedy. So I literally put my stop loss at my intended daily profit and I ignored it. Like one thing I don't like is just kind of leaving trades. That's one thing that me personally I don't like as a trader. But I really feel like when you close winning trades early, there has to be logic behind it. Like if you're gonna say, you know what, I'm gonna close this out, there has to be a viable reason. Like fear is not a reason to me for that. Fear is absolutely not a reason. Fear of losing money, fear of not hitting your take profit, all those different things, you have to back it with confidence. Like the best thing to trump fear is your confidence, having the education, actually practicing and understanding what you're looking at for the markets. That's what's going to trump you feeling fear because that confidence is already like, I know what I'm doing. Like, I don't need to feel scared. I don't need to feel, like I don't really know what I'm doing because I have it. I know I have it. Okay, letting losing trades run. Oh my God, it's gonna come back. Oh my God, I feel it in my bones. Oh my God, I feel it. It's gonna come back in my area. It's absolutely gonna. I tell you guys all the time, if you have any type of gut feelings or your gut is hurting you and you have feelings there, and you go see a doctor ASAP. ASAP. Because if you're taking trades or keeping trades open because of your gut, have doctors for those things. People go to school for those things. You don't take trades off of that though. Never. Okay. Why break your own rules? So, like we were talking about with the trading plan, why actually kind of go around your setup for success? Your trading plan is your setup for success. It's your set of rules for that account that's going to lead you to success. Why go around it? Why break it? Why think you're bigger than the program when you made it? You made it. Nobody made it for you. You made it, right? It was based off of the amount of money that was in the account, the amount of trades that are getting taken, the amount of risk that you're comfortable with. So everything had to do with you going down the path of success with that account. Why break your own rules? Why go against your trading plan? Why not follow what's intended for you to win? Self-sabotage. So these are all things that when you're going into trades, when you're like kind of in your trades and understanding like the motion, sometimes I understand right away, you don't have that stop in you to be like, okay, I'm making an emotional decision. Let me stop. Let me go back. Let me like it's gonna take time. Don't get me wrong. But asking yourself these questions and starting to get into the right mindset of what am I doing? What am I focused on? Why am I doing this? Why am I like, why do I have these instincts rather than just executing them and then being disappointed with that trading session? It's going to make the bigger difference. Okay. Your identity as a trader. So, market pays consistency, not confidence. So, you got to learn to detach yourself from your results. Okay. Here, we're talking about ego versus execution. So, refusing to exit trades, like we just talked about, refusing to exit a trade that's literally showing you it's about to move in the opposite direction, that overwhelming feeling of needing to be right. You don't have to be right. You don't need to be right. Like a lot of the time, if your trade is going in the opposite direction, it's like, oh, well, I'm always almost at my stop loss. Let me just move an extra 10 just so it can go the opposite direction. You don't need to be right. We actually have to learn to take the L. Imagine you have the average trading plan has two losses and you're done, right? If I lose one trade, if for the day I'm able to risk $50, I'm able to have about two trades, $50 each, and my third trade depends on if I have extra profit beyond my daily goal. Okay. So my first trade, I lose it. I lose my $50. The second one, I make $150. If I had held out, let's say, oh my God, if I had held out on the first one, I would have been, but there's no definitive response. Like the market is not designed for you. The market is not designed to give you money. The market is not designed to be on your side. So having that stop loss of whatever size that you have it at kind of helps you too. Were you right in your decision? Were you right in placing your stop loss where it was? This helps your strategy. This helps how you view the markets. This helps how you dissect what you're looking at. If you're playing and fiddling and like playing with the details, how are you learning? You're altering fact so that you're right. You're validating yourself. That's not how you're going to learn. That's not how you're going to get to the next level. Oversized risk. You have to be okay with your risk. If you're not okay with the amount of risk that you have to lower it. Like absolutely. You can't just take one oversized trade every day and if you lose it, oh my God, trading, man, trading doesn't work. This is crazy. The winner circle, oh man, I don't know what they're doing, but no. Absolutely not. Like the oversized trading, the oversized risk, you have to be okay with the risk that you set. And like I said, for myself, I've given this example multiple times. I have an account size, a specific type of account that I'm willing to be more riskier with. But you see those bigger accounts? I'm gonna need a long-standing strategy. I'm a scalper. I love to scalp aggressively. That's my style. That's been my style for the last like 12 months. 12 to 16 months. So now, not now, but the last like 4 or 5 months, I've been learning to, you know what, with your bigger accounts, you don't need to be as risky. It's not necessary. What I can do is implement a strategy like the J7 strategy. Implement a strategy where you can actually hit take profits, where you can actually intentionally hit targets and it's less risky. So I don't feel like I need to over leverage. Why? Because I'm intentional with the types of accounts that I have. So when I say we're leveraging other people's money, we're leveraging contracts, we're leveraging prop firms for the first quarter, I mean it. Like every single one of us needs to come out of Q1. I don't care if you already have a funded account. I don't care. We're talking about from January to the beginning of March. You need to come out of that time frame with 1 to 3 funded accounts. Type I will in the chat if this makes sense to you, and you're going to be someone that comes out swinging that first week of March with 1 to 3 funded accounts under your belt, and you ready to literally have consistent numbers that you could depend on, consistent income that you could depend on coming from other people's capital, funding your live account with other people's capital, paying your bills with other people's capital. That's a flex. Like, that's actually a flex. For real, for real. That's literally your hub where you're just, okay, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that. That's how it should be, for real. Prop firms are not get rich quick. Trading is not get rich quick. None of it. None of it. It's intentional. It's strategic. It's skilled things that you actually have to study. You actually have to learn. You actually have to apply yourself to. And hiding your losses. In reality, the only person you're hiding your losses from is yourself. Like I literally lose trades. I'm not even above the program. I lose trades. I'm more strict on myself because I understand where I'm at and what I'm doing and stuff like that. But the thing is, I don't focus on my losses. I don't focus on my losses. I took a 5-figure loss. I didn't tell nobody. I think I told 2 people. Now you guys know. Like literally, I didn't tell nobody about it because I seen it happen. And I'm like, hey, how am I going to get back to this? It didn't come from trading, but it's like, how am I going to get back to this? How am I going to get back to doing what I want to do, doing how I want to do it? We all take losses. Don't ever feel like on Instagram, oh my God, this person never loses. Oh my God, this person always, oh my. If you're not willing to make a certain amount of money, you cannot be okay with losses. Losses are the stepping stones. It's literally the steps, the foundation to massive wins. If you're not okay with losing 10K, you can't be okay with making 10K. If you're not okay with losing 15K, there's no way you're ready for 30K. Absolutely no way. There's no way. Making more money doesn't all of a sudden make you this master planner of I can keep money, I can hold money, I can do all these things. No, what it does is exposes you more to the fact that now you have to manage, you have to invest, you have to do all these different things to ensure that longevity. So things happen. Things happen. Your money's not just sitting there, right? Things happen. Things need to get paid for. The more money you make, the higher lifestyle some people do. The more things they take on. Things happen, right? So it's like you kind of have to account for those things. And none of that is going to happen by being dishonest with yourself. You could tell me anything. It doesn't matter to me. Like we both go home to our lives at the end of the day. So hiding losses and not making sure you're transparent with yourself included, whether you're over leveraging, whether you feel like you need to be right on the market, in the markets, you're refusing to exit those losing trades, all of that behavior amounts to if you're funded or not. If you've been able to double, triple, quadruple your live account, like all of those things, you don't need to tell me or not tell me. I can kind of like decipher that for myself. You can too. And you're not happy about it. But instead of not being happy about it and downing yourself or saying trading doesn't work or kind of depicting this image of trading that doesn't exist, that's not necessarily true, it's validation once again. So instead of emotions, instead of being in our ego, we want to be in execution. Even on Instagram, I'll give you guys an example outside of trading. Someone told me, oh, sometimes you post, but you don't answer your messages. I said, listen, I use social media as a tool. Okay. I learned this from Andre, actually. I use social media as a tool. I have a time to post, I have a time to answer messages, and I have a time to go and interact with other people's posts. I'm not a consumer when it comes to social media. I'm not. I'm really just not. I won't scroll all day and do all these. No. I use social media as a business tool. I have a time frame to answer messages. I have a time frame to post. I have a time frame to be in my stories. I have a time frame for everything. And if that day was only posting and looking at other people's content and adding other followers that are in the same niche as me, that's what it was. That's what it was. But I promise you, whether it's the next day or the day prior to that, messages were active. I was answering, I was doing this, I was doing that. But the type of person that I'm trying to be and the type of discipline I'm trying to have, there's no way I'm just going to be sitting on Instagram just scrolling and, be a consumer of that product. There's no way. Okay. The next thing is the inconsistency curse. So when we talk about this, there's multiple ways that we can kind of go about this. So inconsistency is trading your mood. So let's say has nothing to do with the trading community. I'm having a bad day. I'm not necessarily with the in the right frame of mind. Okay. Hop on a live session. I'm ready to take trades. I have my trading plan here, but I am not in a good mood. Like I'm not in a good mood. It hasn't been a good morning. Like I'm over it already. What do you think your trading is gonna be like? Even if someone calls you out a winning trade, what is your discernment gonna be like? What is your method of executing that trade going to be like? Type some ones if it's going to be bad. Type some twos if you're going to be able to say, you know what, I had a bad day. I could just trade anyways and I'll be fine. And if you type in two, you got to give me the blueprint. If you type a two in the chat, you have to give me the blueprint. If I'm not having a good day, guys, I'm not hopping on the charts. I don't care. I'm literally already at a disadvantage. I'm not putting myself into a further disadvantage in getting into the markets. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. I'm not gonna let it control me to the point where I'm like, I'm not trading all day, whatever. But if I know I can't focus, if I know I'm not in the right frame of mind, that is a disadvantage. Not only are we professionals, but we understand what it takes to have a successful session. And being in the right frame of mind is one of those things. Okay? We're not talking about being tired. We're not talking about having a long day. We're not talking about that. Your mood. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you angry? Did something happen 30 seconds prior that literally has you off your game that you can't focus? Those are the times that you let those trades go from $800 to negative 200. Those are the times that you let outside things influence your own decisions and the things that you know. It's not like you don't know. The actions that you know you should have taken, you all of a sudden didn't do them. It's not because of, oh, the stars were aligned that night. No, it's because your state already puts you at a disadvantage. That's what that's from. So you want to make sure you're not trading your mood, okay? Trading your money. Obviously, we're literally trading our money, but you never want to do that. You want to trade a strategy. You want to trade the probability of a setup that you've literally been studying or something that's you've been shown that you want to practice on a demo account. You want to study those things. You're not trading your money. That's so literal. You're not trading that. Because if I sit down and say, okay, I'm trading my account. Okay, right now it's at $100. I need to make this like, $600 by Tuesday, and it's Monday. You think I'm trading setups? No. I'm just looking to make money however I can. And 9 times out of 10, you're gonna blow that account. The stakes are too high, your emotions are way too implicated, and you have no concrete setup to actually do it. I'm not telling you it's not possible. I've done it myself among other people on this call. You can make a bag in 24 hours. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you is you have to get into the habit of trading the setup, not your money. This is how people are able to further detach from the money. When we first started out, always saying, guys, make sure you have a demo account. If you want to start a live, you can have your live. I was so ignorant. I'm like, yo, I don't do demo accounts. Not doing that. I just want live accounts. And when I tell you, I blew live after live after live after live, just trying to understand. And I was still being ignorant. I would still not get the demo account. But understand that the demo account is not a crutch. It doesn't put you at a disadvantage. A demo account is the perfect thing to literally practice a strategy you want to implement on a prop firm or a live account, right? That's the perfect place to practice that. If you want to, let's say, take something to the next level and you're like, okay, I want to up my lot size, but I don't necessarily know what that looks like on a daily basis, you could practice that on your demo account. There's no consequences there. Practicing in an environment where there's no consequences, what do you have to lose? Why can't you win? Why can't you win? You know what I mean? So it's making the right decisions. They trade their last loss. Yo, that one, That one, trading your last loss, that's an inconsistency curse for real. Because we all know once you understand how your risk is set up, you know how many days. Let's say I have a $300 account, and every time I trade, I'm telling myself, okay, I'm going to trade on this account one trade a day. If I know that I want to risk $50 per setup, my losses that I would have in a row are numbered, right? If I'm risking $50 a day for one trade on a $300 account, if I have a certain amount of days in a row that I lose, that account is gone. I'm aware of that. But the thing about it is, if you're not consistent with your risk and you're down to like, when that threshold should have probably lasted you about 7 to 10 days. Instead, it lasted you 3 because you over leveraged, you went over your $50, you didn't respect your trading plan, and you end up on your last loss that same week rather than the week after. Like when you were supposed to have 7 to 10 losing days to lose that account, and now you're at day 3, trading your last loss. Friends, family, that's not it. That's not it. Imagine you trade that $50 every day. Monday, you didn't see nothing viable, you didn't take no trades. Tuesday, you made $150. Tuesday, you made $150, but you say, you know what? $50 was my thing. I did $50. I'm done. Wednesday, you hit pocket. Like you literally went crazy. You made $300 on the Wednesday. We're at Thursday now. You're like, you know what? I didn't really see a setup I liked. I didn't trade. So already that first week, compared to you over leveraging, thinking you're gonna hit it big off of one trade, thinking you're Tony Montana in the markets, compared to being consistent, you already like double, tripled your account in a week. Why? Because you were consistent with your risk. You were consistent with your setups. You were consistent with your strategy. Simple. So trading that last loss, understand that every account has a day threshold. I have to lose this amount of days in a row to lose this account completely. And you should never, this is a number you should never hit. You should never have 7 to 10 losing days in a row. Never. Never. It doesn't happen. Unless you're being ignorant in the markets, you're doing whatever you feel to do, it doesn't happen. And if you're already on, I think there's maybe 3 people on this call that I saw. If you're already on day 2 or 3 and you're still losing trades, I can promise you I'm logging out of that account. Whether it's the Juju, whether it's whoever, I don't care. It could be Tom, Brad, Brady, I don't care. I'm logging out of that account and we're gonna go back to demo or switch to another account. It ain't happening. There's no way I'm losing 7 days in a row. Like I'm not doing it. Doesn't make sense. Okay? Having one good week and a bad week the next, I promise you, if you compare your behavior from one week to the next, something is different. That first week, you probably went in with pure strategy, pure consistency, pure discipline. From the Sunday, because you seen you were up, you know what I'm saying? You had the suit on, you're feeling yourself. You went in with overconfidence that second week. And that overconfidence in the second week probably cost you your profits from the first week and a little bit more. So not only did you give back what you made, you have to make back that little extra that you lost and then start back over to get the profit. So it doesn't pay to be overconfident. It doesn't pay to be prideful in the markets. It just doesn't. And going over your trading plan and actually going through using things like Zinner IQ, actually making sure that you understand what strategy is working, what strategy isn't really working for you that you should probably take back to demo. Like actually using the services that we are paying for makes a difference. Okay? So you want to make sure you're kind of going back and forth like, okay, am I doing this right? Am I focused on the right things? On this right side here, on the almighty dollar bill here, we see trade systems, trade probabilities. Like we said, you have 7 to 10 day threshold that you have to lose 7 to 10 days in a row to lose your account. You're not losing 7 days in a row, my friends. You're not. You're absolutely not. Don't be over leveraging. As soon as you start over leveraging, those days start to shorten. So absolutely, you could hit big. You could absolutely hit big. You could actually absolutely have a great day. But my thing is, what if you don't? As happy as you would be to make $500, how happy would you be if you lost it? How would you behave if you lost the $500? Would you be as logical? Would you be as confident? Would you be as overconfident? Would you be showing it off to everybody? Oh my God, look. Answer is no. The answer is no. And then your trade process, are you abiding by the rules you set for your accounts? Are you making sure that everything that you set forward makes sense? Okay? The next one, professional mindset. So are you outcome based or process based? If you're outcome based, you're like, "Hey, how much did I make? What's the dollar amount?" That was me when I first started. What's the money? What's the dollar amount? Okay, but yeah, how much am I making off of that? That's all I cared about. I don't care about anything else. No strategies, no nothing. How much money did I make? That's the mindset because that's what we're here for, right? When in reality, you don't want to be just that one person that could hit it like, one, two times, and then all of a sudden it's like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 weeks later, you're not able to do it again. You are not able to do it again. And because you're professional mindset based when it comes to trading, instead of being able to implement something like trading into your lifestyle, into your income, you are forced that it's not a skill for you. It's not a skill for you. It's literally just something you do. It's not a skill for you. You didn't take it to the point where you want it to be process based. Did you execute your plan properly? Is this something you can do time after time after time after time? Is this something like your job that you can depend on? You know you're going to get $200 a day from it because you executed your plan and you perfected your plan. You're not that one hit wonder where it's like, okay, yo, I made $500. We hear you, we see you, and then you're gone. And we see you like 6 months later. Oh, yo, da da da, and then you're gone. And then you're gone. And then you're gone. No. You know what I compare that to? You know the dad that's like, oh my God, I'm gonna go get milk, I'll be back. And he never comes back for like 26 years. And you end up seeing him like on road. That's how I see that as. Like, oh, I'm gonna go get milk. You never come back. Or you come back with the milk because you need something, and then you're gone again to go get ginger ale this time. I don't know. I don't know. But that's what I equate it to. It's like those one hit wonders that show up, leave, show up, leave. Or, oh, I'm back, and then gone again. Like that right there, outcome based. If you're process based, you're focused on the plan, focused on the execution, focused on something you can implement into your life so you can transition out of the things you don't want to do anymore. Does that make sense? Drop some twos in the chat if that makes sense to everybody. And this is the one that I really want to make sure that you pay attention to because I hear this often about gambling and how trading is exactly like gambling and this and that. I've heard that from people that haven't traded, right? So the gambler brain needs action. So like we said, this is very emotion based, right? Your brain, when it comes to gambling, you need action. You have to be right. It's not even a need. You have to be right. Have to, right? You're chasing feelings. You're chasing that momentum of like, oh my God, okay, I need. Like you sound like an addict. When we talk about having a trader brain, everything is measured. Everything is accounted for. Every outcome, every strategy, every risk is calculated. It's intentional. So you're measuring with execution. You're accepting your loss. You understand that if you're going into this trade with a $50 stop loss, yes, you can absolutely make $150, $300, whatever the case is, but you can very much lose that $50. But why is it not gambling? It's strategic. You have made a plan for yourself. You know that, okay, I'm risking $50 today. As soon as I hit that $50, we're back at it again tomorrow. If my target is, because a lot of people like to trade, keep trading, right? If my target is $150, and let's say I risk 50, I make $200. You know what that tells me for the day? Not only did I just make my target, if I felt like I wanted to take another trade, what do you guys think I would be risking on that trade? Drop for me in the chat. I on a specific account, I want to take one trade a day. I want to risk $50. My target is $100. That specific day, I made $150. I want to keep trading. So out of what I made, what makes sense for me to trade without hindering or going against my trading plan? $50. $50. So around the emotion that we're talking about of the over trading, um, your like excitement to want to continue to trade, there's ways around that, but it has to be logical. It has to be logical. My intention was to make $100. I came out the markets with $150. I want to take another trade. What am I allowed to risk? The extra. The extra that I didn't use that is has nothing to do with my plan. If I make another $150, whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. But if I don't, if I lose it, guess what? It's still a winning day. But for those people that want to continue to trade, that see a setup, that have one account and are working on getting a second, whatever that looks like for you, that is something that you can do. Okay? Ask yourself why you want to keep trading when you made over your amount. Absolutely. But one thing I realized is if you don't give people a solution to a like something that they're going through or just saying, "Oh my God, just hold your hands, lock your account," all these different outcomes, absolutely. These are all things that we can do, but let's be for real. Not everybody's doing that. Not everybody is doing those things. So as and the thing about it is because we're talking about logic over emotions, this is something we all have to learn. It takes time. But during that time, trading your extra, that's definitely something you could do. Trading, getting into the habit of being like, this is my target. It's like, for example, if you're doing your budget for the month and you're like, you know what, I got an extra $50. You could absolutely save that, put it to the next. You know what? I'm gonna go do my nails. I got an extra $50. I'm gonna go do my nails. It's the same. That's how I look at it. That's the same thing. So obviously, like, like Dr. Alexa said, that's exactly right. Like, why are you doing those things? But at the same time, I understand that we're human. We're human. You're not going to start doing this tomorrow. It's going to take time. It's going to take time for you to register in your brain that you don't have to trade your extra, that you don't have to do these things. But sometimes, in order to like fulfill, I was going to use an example, but I'm recording, so I'm not going to use that as an example. Um, Sometimes you almost have to feed into it to get out of it. So for me, like I said, if you're supposed to be making an X amount of money in a day and you make over that and you got a little bit of extra, obviously we're working towards amazing habits, but it's going to take you time to work on those amazing habits. In the meantime, I think that's a very good compromise. That's how I look at it. Okay. The three trade rule. The three trade rule. This one right here is something you need to kind of go over every single time you sit down to trade, every time you sit down to literally like take advantage of a session or whatever the case is, okay? So the first one, and I'm gonna write these in the chat just to make sure you guys have them. So number one is is this my system? What I mean by that is we all have strategies we're implementing, right? If I, for some reason, I'm like, okay, I'll use Dr. Alexis as an example. If she's making money during Asia, right? She's making money during Asia. She's killing it. She's taking trades on Sundays. I don't necessarily trade on Sundays like that. And it's like I come out of what I'm doing to do what she's doing. Is it my system? Is that something I'm supposed to implement right then and there on my prop firm and live accounts? It's not my system. I'm not familiar with it at all. It's not to say, and I want you to understand something. Her way of trading, learning her way of trading and following her live sessions are two different things. When you hop on a live session, you hop on a live session to make money. You're listening to the numbers, you're listening to the setup, you're listening to the buyer sell. When we're talking about following someone's strategy and actually learning it, that's the system. Okay? So, number one, are you doing what you're doing because it's part of your plan, because it's a strategy that you've implemented? Or are you doing it on your own? We're not talking about on a live session with an educator, on a live session with one of the individuals within the community because you want to make money or because you want to hit your target. You're just doing it because you saw somebody make money. Oh, I could do that too. I could do that too. You don't know how many hours she put in to actually understand that. You don't know how much back testing she's done. It's not your system. So why jump all of a sudden to be like, oh my God, you know what? She did Asia. I'm going to do Asia too. The best way to go about that is hopping on demo, practicing, because she explained, Dr. Alexis explains herself perfectly. She knows exactly what she's talking about. So to back that, it now becomes, okay, I'm going to hop on her live sessions to understand, But not only that, I'm gonna make sure I take notes when she talks, when she drops gems, when she says things in the chat, so that I actually start to understand and can practice her system. So what does that do? It becomes my system. It can't become your system if you just saw her make and pull $2,000 out the market, and then tomorrow, oh yeah, we're doing Asia. We're absolutely doing Asia because she just made $2,000. That's not your system. So again, you have to put in the groundwork to make sure that the system actually pans out for you. Whether that's on a demo account, you're practicing what she's saying on a demo, but you're executing her trades on your live and prop firm accounts. Making money and understanding a strategy is two different things. When you want to understand a strategy, it's so that you can implement it. If you're on a live session, you're there to make money. Drop some ones if you understand the difference. Because I think sometimes it's very hard to like tell the difference, but that's the reality. Myself, if I hop on a live session, I don't really like do your strategy. I don't really like, dabble with Asia. Here to make money. It's not just any and everybody calling, like doing a call. Jordan Crosby is not any and everybody. Dr. Alexis is not any and everybody. And the Andre Gordon is not any and everybody. So for me, once again, including the educators from Zinrai, not any and everybody. These are people that have over decades of experience, have proven track records, proven income. Like we can go all day. So that is a lot on live sessions is for you to make money, make income, make your daily amount, make whatever that means to you. Implementing a system or a strategy requires you to practice. It means you're going to be doing that on your own. So it becomes your strategy, it becomes your system. There's no way after 24 hours you're ready for that. There's no way after 24 hours of looking at something, you're ready to do that on a live account, you're ready to do that on a prop firm account where it matters. Okay? So that's number one. Number two is my risk fixed? So what that means is you're not risking $100 today, 300 tomorrow, 500 based off of your mood on Friday, 600 on Monday, 300 up the valley through the river, by the bushes. Like, no. Every single day that you trade, you have a set amount defined by your trading plan that you're going with every single day. Every single day without fail. That is your stop loss. Even if the day before you hit big, you made 4 or 5 times what you're supposed to. Love that for you. We can congratulate you. We can celebrate you in the chat, but it's back to the plan. It's right back to the plan. Ain't nothing changed. Okay? So your risk has to be fixed. It has to be something that every single day, this is what I'm risking. This is what I'm risking. This is what I'm risking. That way, when you lose at the end of the week, you're not even worried about, okay, like where am I at? What did I do? So you're not worried about any of that. Why? Because you hit like you literally risk the exact same amount every single day. And no matter what, you're gonna have winning days in that week. And at the end of the day, you will be profitable. Okay. Number three, am I calm? Being calm is one of the best states to trade in. You can be happy, you could be excited, no problem. But being calm is a place where you can make decisions from. Being calm is a place where you could kind of see what's coming at you and see what you're giving out, all in the same breath, all in the same style. Okay? So those three questions you have to ask yourself every time you're ready to trade. And if any of those three are no, you're not trading. Could try again the next day. You're not trading. All right? So those are my the three trade rule. Your profit and loss and your self-worth. If you lose or win, it has nothing to do with your value. Has nothing to do with what you bring to the table, has nothing to do with who you are as a trader, has to do with your strategy, and it has to do with how you work the markets. One does not equate the other. Your self-worth and your ability to learn the skill set of trading has absolutely nothing to do with your profit and loss. Your profit and loss is a direct reflection of the strategies and the things that you implement to grow your account, to grow your knowledge. Okay? Your emotional stop losses. If you hit 2 losses for the day, you should be done. If you have a spike in your heart rate and you're like, you know what? I don't know, like, this trade, like, you shouldn't be trading. How can you make a good decision that way? Right? And then if you have the urge to make it back, you're like, you know what? I need to do something. I absolutely need to do something. I need to make sure I make it back. I can't finish off like this. I can't make sure that um I need to make it. Like today needs to end a certain type of way. No. That's not the way to do it. That's not the way to get to it.